What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, here with a name you know. The record holder for most interviews that I have ever done.
Well,
Deonna.
I am stooge number 2.
Yeah, you are stooge number 2. And listen, you might have to rise up those ranks because stooge number 1 lost their championship. So,
you know,
you hate to see that. You hate to see that.
You win some, you lose some. She'll bounce back.
We got Deonna Purrazzo. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am lovely. Your social media content is always something that I enjoy, specifically your history lessons.
Okay. No, are you about to ask me a history question?
I'm about to ask you a history question.
All right.
As submitted by a Steve Macklin,
Okay.
a faithful reader, I see. What province of Afghanistan was your husband's unit of the 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines deployed to in 2009?
Helmand Province.
Will you spell that?
Helmad.
Incorrect.
No?
Helmand.
Oh, ND. Okay.
I am sorry, you have been owned. You are incorrect. You have lost all of your qualifications.
That's okay. I guess we'll just toss the ring in the river too.
SNHU is going to pull the commercials immediately. This is scandal. This is worse than you using the wrong emojis. It's anything. It's over.
Sorry, Steve.
You've been pulling Rick Rudes with this SNHU thing.
How
You're all over the
crazy.
place, right?
Yeah, I didn't. You know what? I don't even honestly know what I did to make this come about. I submitted to a thing, and 10 months later they were like, "Hey, we love your story."
Yeah.
I just thought it was like part of like an exit interview thing, and so I also had no idea it was as national
Yeah.
as it was. But I feel like they were very strategic in where they picked their commercial placement.
They
which
were
I
very
love.
wise about that. So the first time that you hear that,
Yeah.
and that you're aware that this commercial is out there and on wrestling TV, not just AEW, WWE Raw, things like that,
Yeah.
how does that make you feel?
Honestly, it's so cool because so many people have like tweeted and come forward about like, I'm going to school and like, someone just tweeted at me the other day, like, you inspired me, and now I'm, 40-something years old, and I have a kid, and I'm back for my bachelor's. And,
Yeah.
like, to reach such a different audience this late in my career that has absolutely nothing to do with wrestling, but then also is, like, inspiring people later in life to go back to college, that's what it's all about. And so it's just been a really great mix of, like, being able to reach a different audience, but then also, like, I'm not on Dynamite, but I'm on Dynamite.
There you go. There you go. Because, I mean, that's obviously the talking point.
Yeah.
Where do things stand? Last time we saw you had your little roller bag and you got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
up?
I think that the Vendetta, in my mind, was much more dominant.
Mm-hmm.
The Vendetta was much more mysterious and devious, and I think that unfortunately me and Taya were not able to get the job done on
Sure.
numerous occasions, and I'm just not okay with that. I'm a multi-time world champion, and I want to be in the title picture, and I want to break bitches' arms, and have not been able to get the job done. So I needed to go home, I needed to reassess, reevaluate, pick a perfect opportunity, and now we're just waiting for the opportunity.
There were a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Was there ever supposed to be a third member of the Vendetta, or were you just creating a little bit of buzz?
Yeah, it was a little mix of both, to be
Okay.
honest. When they came to me and Taya with the Vendetta idea, it was like, it'll be you two, and then hopefully down the line, and once stories are created and we, develop some character here, maybe we can get a third.
Wendy
And then,
Richtor.
Obviously
Wendy Richtor.
Wendy Richtor. No, what the plans were in the beginning is not what unfolded, and that's totally okay, but then it became, we're not really doing much here, we can use this to kind of get the audience invested in us, and honestly, who knows, like, the Vendetta is not over. There's still, I love that, me and Taya as a group, I love the idea of it so much. I would love to see it come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. She's been teaming a little bit with Lady Frost. What do you think of her?
Yeah, she might have to prove herself a little bit,
Okay.
You don't just get invited into the group.
Yeah.
There's some rituals that need to go down, but
Okay.
I would think about it.
Okay. Well, you joined another group fairly recently, the FBI.
Yeah.
I loved that when I saw that. Listen, I am a Nunzio Little Guido guy because I love UWFI and the origins of catch wrestling and all that. Obviously, you're a submission specialist, technical wrestler. What was it like to be invited into that? How were you approached with it? And
Yeah.
what was that like? Because, I mean, I know a lot of your early influences of your character,
Yeah.
Fluent and Purrazzo, Ferrari, all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was so fun because I just like never really thought that was something that I'd be asked to do.
Yeah.
And it was such like a fleeting thing. Like High Spots was like, we're putting on a show. We're gonna have the FBI versus the Boricuas. They're gonna have Natalia. We'd love to have you join the group. And it was before I went to AEW that we booked that in.
Yeah.
So then I was kind of like, ooh, you know, we don't see a lot of intergender wrestling or mixed tag wrestling on AEW. Is this something that could get me in trouble? So I had to get it approved. They were totally cool with the idea. So it was just really fun that I got to do it. And I had way more fun than I thought I was going to have.
Yeah.
And it works because, like, virtuosa is Italian. It's an Italian word.
Yes.
Like, I think that they welcomed me with open arms, and I had to steal a little bit of something from that
I love
day.
it. I loved it. It was so good. I always ask people, do you know what your most viewed video on YouTube is?
Ooh. Do you?
I always look it up before.
If I had to guess, it's probably something from like Women of Honor.
I have a list of 2 of them specifically.
Okay.
Let's see.
Um.
Let's see. Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Here we
okay.
go. You versus Shelly Martinez.
Okay.
7 million views.
That's crazy.
Do you remember anything about that match?
I know it was in New York. Maybe maybe Queens.
Okay.
Somewhere in New York, and I mean, no. I think I was wearing black gear with sleeves and it had like cutouts in it.
Sure.
But other than that, no.
Number 2 is a very strategic thumbnail as
Okay.
well. You being choked by Alexis. I think it's, gosh.
Alexis?
Alexis
Can
Positive.
I see the thumbnail?
Listen, you're going to side-eye this thumbnail, but we will look it up right
know,
here.
I'm surprised it's not like WWR or Beyond Wrestling because Drew was very strategic with those thumbnails.
See, these are not that different. Let's see here. There's the Shelly Martinez
oh my
one.
gosh, that's Lish.
Yes. Oh, okay. No.
Alicia
yeah,
Edwards.
Yeah, it was
But
Alexis.
Yeah, she went
okay,
with
yes.
Alexis. Okay, well, yeah, that's a real suggestive thumbnail.
There you
Gosh.
go. Other
All
top
right.
ones are, listen, these are the shorts, but you getting beaten up by Nia Jax,
Fair did that a couple times.
and then right down about number 5, there's an
Mickey.
awfully good one.
Yeah, me waterboarding Mickey James.
That was so fun. That was so
It was
fun
so
to watch.
fun.
It was so
It was fun to
cool.
put together.
Do you wish that wrestling did more of that, even as we sort of exit, that era of when you had to do it?
Yeah. Yes and no, because I feel like if it was overboard
Sure.
with the cinematic stuff, it would get it would become normalized and it wouldn't be as cool. So no, I don't wish we did more of it, but I think that using it appropriately enhances so much of everyone's
Yes.
story. And I think with me and Mickey specifically, that's what it did. It was like it got personal now that I'm like coming to your home and I'm invading your personal space, and I think that just took our story to the next level.
Your wonderful, lovely husband had quite the week as we
Yeah.
filmed this.
Pass. No.
Yeah. He did not pass on being the first international champion
He
in
didn't,
TNA.
no.
How did you feel watching that? I mean, it's got to make you
Yeah.
proud to see somebody who is every bit as talented as
Yeah.
he is get some of the things that he deserves.
It's incredible, right? Because there's a very short list of people, one that I love, and 2 that I want to succeed more than I'd love to see myself succeed.
Sure.
And obviously he's number 1 on that list, and sometimes he competes with Chelsea for being number 1 on that list.
I love it.
But I think this year specifically he's worked so hard to learn how to be a babyface that people can connect with. And he's really had to dig down deep into some personal stuff and bring it to the table for people to be able to understand yes, who Steve Macklin is, but the stuff that Steve Kubrick has been through, and it's not easy stuff to digest.
Yeah.
And so I think that to see all of that come to light, to see how the crowd reacted, they were so behind him, it just felt so good because I know how good it would feel for him. And then on top of it, you're an inaugural champion.
Yes,
you're the first one. So for the company to believe that much in you, to put that, no one can ever take that from him.
Yeah.
He could lose the championship, it doesn't matter. He's the first, and no one else will be the first. Was really cool. I was bummed that I couldn't be there, but the craziest thing happened that day. We had collision tapings at the theater at Fenway Park.
Yes.
And so we were both really upset that like just wasn't going to be able to travel and be with him.
Sure.
You know, it's a big moment. And we got to tour Fenway Park that day.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
so I went and I did it, and I'm a Yankees fan through and through.
I'm
but
sorry.
it was incredible to be able to get that experience. And so they
Yes.
took us behind the Green Monster, and all celebrities are like, you know, they sign their name, and so out of the corner of my eye, I saw a KIA Marine Corps sticker.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I just kind of looked at it, and I didn't know who the person was, but I was like, how cool that all of these people, there's Tom Petty quotes, and you know what I mean, walls are covered with famous people, and they let someone put that sticker there. Like, how special is that? And so I take a picture, I sent it to Steve, because I just thought he'd think it was cool.
Yes.
The person that sticker was in memoriam for was Nicholas Exaros, who was killed in action in Afghanistan in 2009 in the same company that Steve was.
Wow.
So Steve was like, I literally saw him like the day before that
That's
happened.
insane.
And so it was just kind of like, we're big believers in like,
Sure.
God gives you signs and invisible strings and things like that. But for that big day that I could not be there for, that was a sign that said, we're both where we're supposed to be, but you're together in spirit. And so it was just kind of crazy. And like, I still get goosebumps telling
That's
that
incredible.
story, because he was like, wait, I know that person was in my company. And I was like, no way you knew this person. It was just crazy.
Speaking of first, I remember, I believe it was in Mexico, you did a power bomb for the first time. Because I interviewed you and you're like, I didn't never do a power bomb before. Now you're doing them all the time.
All the time. You know
all
what?
the time.
I've had to like adjust my style being at AEW and
Yes.
just find a new finish, because obviously I couldn't do the Gotch style pile driver and things
Yes.
like that. So trying to figure new signature moves out, and that's just an easy one I can do to everybody.
Literally one of my favorite wrestling moves I've ever seen in my life was one, I think you may have told me, that wasn't supposed to go like that.
Oh.
It was the Gotch style where you drop to your knees and
Oh my gosh,
Jordan
when
went up and down.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
That was
Woo!
filthy. That's
Shout
like-
out to Jordan. She just did that to herself.
That's one of those things where even if it's not intentional, it'll make it like into future video games. Like
Yes.
when Triple H obliterated that guy, and it was in
Yeah.
all the video games after that.
Yeah, it was crazy. And there's still pictures of her like scrunched. And yeah, it'll go down in knockout history for sure.
It's incredible. Deonna, we always thank you so much. We thank Ultimate Stars, who run the booth, and Squared Circle Expo. It's always
Yeah.
wonderful to talk to you.
Thanks for having me.
Till next time, my friends, we're out. There are so many reasons to check out nordvpn.com/Fightful. Let's go through a ton of them. Works on all operating systems and devices, even your router. Protect yourself on public Wi-Fi. Shield your data from snoops and criminals. Add extra layers of digital security to your life with the Password Manager, the File Encryption Tool, the Threat Protection Pro. It's the fastest VPN in the world. They've got a global server network, 24/7 tech support. And if you're a wrestling fan, oh man, are you in for it? All of the programs that WWE runs, you can watch with one Netflix account with nordvpn.com/Fightful. You can get pay-per-views at a much more affordable price. This service pays for itself in the money that you are going to save. nordvpn.com/Fightful.